Every year, the world takes this time to celebrate mothers of all kinds. We give flowers, we get cards, we buy gifts, and no matter what we do, it'll never be enough. And each year, every tribute typically comes from the perspective of the kids to their mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, you name it. But this year, we want to honor our mothers from the only people who really understand what it's like to be a mom, and that's moms.
Wow, my first memory of motherhood. I'll say it's when that first time that I saw, my daughter was first, she was born first. I have two that I birthed. My daughter, when I seen her come out and they put her on my chest, and that first look, like she gave me the smile. Normally babies don't really smile when they come out. They always cry. But when she came out, she just smiled. And that moment, I'm like, what? I'm a mom?
My son was first, and I got married young. So I was 17 years old when I had him. And I was, in my mind, I was thinking, you know, like a doll. He was gonna be a doll. But when it hit me was when, you know, all through the night I kept getting up to check and see if he was breathing. You know, just making sure he was positioned right in the bed, and I just wanted him to be, you know, okay and perfect. And I was just, you know, just looking at him like, I cannot believe, like, I was just playing with dolls, and now I'm somebody's mama.
When I had my first child, and they brought him and laid him on my chest, and I looked in his eyes, and he was looking at me, I guess, you know, by him being a newborn. He probably really couldn't focus and see me real well, but at that point, I'm thinking, I have a little person that is dependent on me, and that is, you know, I'm responsible for. You know, and at that moment, I realized, wow, you know, I'm somebody's mama.
You know, while your children are small, you get all these little things, you know, from school, and you expect all these little trinkets and whatnot. And then the older they get, you're like, happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you. And then as they are now mothers themselves, you know, they're kind of, you know, moving along because now they're expecting things for Mother's Day too. And it's just, you know, Mother's Day for me is just being able to see or even hear from all of my babies. You know, I am fine if I don't get a card. As long as I can see their faces or hear from them, I am fine.
Oh, if you're not a mom, you probably don't understand the bond and the relationship you have with your children. It's a different kind of bond. You might have bonds with friends. You might have bonds with your mate, even your mom or your dad. But the bond that you share with your child that you birth, yeah, it's a different kind of experience. You climb rocks and go through mountains to try to help cultivate them and guide them. But at the end of the day, you're like, wow, that's mine. It's like I had her or him, and I don't know if that's a feeling that somebody that hasn't had a child experienced. I don't know if they're ever experienced that.
There's a big misconception about that, okay? When they say, you know, that's her favorite, that's your favorite. And it's not. What it is you may have one that's closest to your heart because maybe your personalities are more similar. Or you may have one that, you know, you just relate to a little bit better than the other one, or one may, you know, act more like the dad, but you have to understand that they're all individuals. So this one is not my favorite. He just needs more time in this area, or this one needs more time in that area.
Be able to be understanding, be able to be present, because they are individuals. You know, they have their own minds, and the mistake I made was not being understanding rushing, not being, just being present at the moment, because you can't get that time back. You can't get the time, when they're coming to you for a reason. You're the mom. They're coming to you for advice. They're coming to you for encouragement. And if you can't be present and be intentional, you're going to miss.
It was like everything was just all out of sorts. It's like, oh my God, these are not my kids. But, them growing up and trying to feel their way, and they're looking like, no, Mom, that is not it. You just too hard on us. And then, no, I am trying to keep you from some things. One daughter, I would tell her, that girl is not your friend. She wanted to hang with her, and then it didn't dawn on her until they were adults. She really wasn't my friend. So, like I say, it really didn't, all of that up and down stuff didn't really hit till they were teenagers and I guess, I probably did it to my mama too. I want to do it my way. And those are the moments that, you wish you could just like, here, look, this is the path that you need to go. But then you realize that they have to make their own paths and live their own lives.
My proudest mom moment is the day that my children introduced me to their children. When my daughter told me she was pregnant, my son told me he was having, his girlfriend was having a baby. And I was like, what? And then for me to the experience that I had to be with them during that moment, that was a proud mom moment for me.
When I pictured, myself as a mom, I was, the perfect mom, and my kids would always be clean, and, my house would be tidy and perfect, and I had the perfect husband and the whole nine, and it was absolutely nothing like that. It was always cleaning up and nasty diapers and frustrating, and I was young. So no, it was being a mom was nothing that I expected it to be. I loved them, and I embraced it, but it was not what I expected it to be.
I remember when my son was 12 and he wanted to leave and go stay with his dad. That broke my heart. And I felt at that moment something I did wrong, something I missed. I wasn't, it felt like I was, not being, there for him. And I missed like 5 or 6 years of his life because he decided to go stay with his dad. And I was resentful, but I had to think back, what did I do? Did I miss something? Did I, miss? I mean, although there are no instruction books, there's no type of literature, when you are a mom, experience is the best lesson, I feel, and I kind of resent that. But now, it kind of grew us apart at that point when he was 12 and when he went to go stay with his dad. But now, we have resolved some things. So now, we're in a good place. But yeah, I felt at that point, I was like a bad mom.
I tried not to be a bad kid, but I'm pretty sure I got on her nerves. But just being able to listen to her wisdom, and take it to heart. Sometimes she'll be like, "No, don't do that," or "You need to get them," or whatever. But she's been there from day one, and she has not missed a beat. My mom is pretty much that's my roadie. I love my mama. It's beautiful when you become an adult and you see how life really goes versus how you want it to go. And you always say, I'm not going to be like my mother when I grow up. Yeah, well, I'm kind of like her anyway.
With my mom, all I saw her was the pillar in the family, the one that held everybody together, the one that made sure, all of our, the food was made, everything was done, clean, all of that kind of stuff that you would see, a mom do. But when I became a mom, I'm like, I'm finna go to the store, finna go shopping, finna watch these kids. That wasn't the style that I was used to. And so as I got older and my kids got older, I realized that was so needed for them as they were growing up. They needed that mothering. And sometimes I wasn't always that part. My mom gave it to me, but I couldn't give that to them until I actually grew up. You heard me say, me growing up to be the mom that I am today. I think they respect me more now than they did when they were 7, 5, those ages.
My mom is no longer here. And when she was living, we were not on the best of terms. So before she died, I kind of, resent not being able to, have that relationship with her. As growing up though, she was a great mom. She taught us great values. She was tough. Anybody that knows Sister Boykin or Miss Cree or Creola, Aunt Cree, they know, she didn't play any games. But she taught us, how to be great men, young men and women, and a lot of times I used to sit in my room and say to myself, I would never, raise my kids like this. I'm glad the way she raised us. I'm glad that she, instilled in us the values that I cherish today, because I wouldn't be the person that I am today. No telling where I would be. So I just wish I had another moment with her. I wish I had I wish I could tell her some more things. I wish I could, bring back, revert the time so I can, those last, days or moments, that I could have made things right. But, I believe I turned out pretty good.
My relationship with my mom has changed drastically. Growing up, my mother was very strict, and she wasn't like a hugger, or as a matter of fact, there was not a lot of whole answers to why you didn't do something. It was just, you just didn't do it, and I couldn't understand even why sometimes I felt like she would be just angry or just upset for no reason, And so we didn't have a really close bond when I was growing up. And now we had a conversation, and I explained to her, like, Mom, now I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it was the struggle. You were being a single mom, and you couldn't give me what you didn't get, because when we, had a chance to talk, you explained to me that my granny wasn't a hugger, So that's, so that, and now, we're able to talk, and we laugh, and we talk about anything now. But back then it was, this is the way it is, and no conversation, nothing, but now I get it now. I get a lot of it was just frustration. It wasn't that you were, she was mean or just strict. She was just doing what she knew, and she was being the way, the way that she was raised.
The duties of a mother goes far beyond just getting the kid dressed, getting him or her ready for school. It's just more than paying the bills, making sure they got a roof overhead. You just there all the time. You're always in your kids' business. And I would say, just looking back from when I was growing up, my mom was that person that was always there. My dad worked. So every time you look around, it's mama. So I think because moms are, it seems like mamas is always there. You tired, you just got off of work, but I'm here. I'm supporting my kid, and I want my kid to know. So I would say, just because moms are just always forever present, and you got to give up. You just got to give props to your mom.
One of my most memorable moments of not being such a good mom was, I remember waking up one day and I can hear my baby crying, and I had the baby in the bed with me. I could hear the baby crying, and I was exhausted. I believe it might have been the second or the third baby, I'm not sure. But anyway, I hear the baby crying, no baby. Well, my baby had rolled up under the bed and was and was crying. This is a true story. And was crying, and I felt like the worst mother in the world. But I mean, those are it happens, you know. Babies don't come with instructions, and you're exhausted, especially when you have other children. So, you know, they just, those things are gonna happen, you know. They gonna fall, and you're gonna have to take the baby to the hospital, and you looking like you done abuse a child because you got that one clumsy kid that might just, you know, he running the stuff and trip over stuff all the time. So there's no instructions. You wing it.
What was it like hearing my firstborn?
Having a baby, to me, felt like the best fart in the world. It's like you going through 9, 10, 12 hours of intense gas, and then all of a sudden you let it out, and that's the best feeling in the world.
I guess the joy of being a mother is just seeing your children thrive. Because my prayer has always been for them to be productive citizens, you know, not having to suffer or go through any strife or anything like that. So to see them doing good or doing better or doing well, like one daughter just bought her own house, I'm ecstatic about that. You know, one daughter picked up and moved, well, two of them picked up and moved to Nevada. So I'm excited for them, to see them become, you know. So that's all you can ask of God, is to help them become who they should be and who they are to be.
What I would say to any mom, first of all, babies don't come with instructions. And you can't compare yourself to other moms. And sometimes we do that. So then we feel less than, you know, or we don't feel like we're adding up to, you know, the way that this person is raising their baby, or that person is raising their baby. You have to understand that each child is different, and you have to trust God, whether you're a single mom, whether you have a husband. Teach your kids to pray, because that's one thing that growing up, we knew to pray no matter what happened. And then even growing up, after when you leave the church and things happen, it comes back. You better pray. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing you definitely want to instill in your child, is to know God and to know how to pray. But just God does not make, now your baby may not have been planned, but it was definitely not a mistake. So God handpicked you to be this little person's mother. And he did that for a reason. So it might be rough, it might be tough, but remember that God specifically chose you to be this child's mom. So he's trusting you with that child so you can handle it, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it gets rough, it gets tough, husband or not. single or not, it does. It gets very stressful at times. But you got this. You got this. Those are God loaned them to you, and you do everything you can because he's gonna take them back one day. So you want to let him know that they're in good hands. So it's okay. Just trust God. Trust him.
Don't be hard on yourself. This is, you're starting out as a new mom. You're going to make mistakes. If you have to reach out to big mama, grandmama, whoever, aunties, aunts, that, can encourage you along the way, do that. Don't try to do it by yourself. And you are the person that your children are looking up to. So be as present, be as intentional, love them unconditionally, and just be like I said. You don't get a day off. Your mom all the time, even when they're adults. So just stay the course. It's not easy. But as you get the practice, as more children you have, or the one that you have, just be the best mother that you can be, and I promise you, it'll get better, and you'll be fine.
Things I wanted to say to all the mothers out there, whether you're a first-time mom, whether you're an at-home mom, whatever mom you are. Listen, this is from the heart, from Lady Purdue. All you have to do is be you. You can only be who you are to your children. And listen to the advice of your parents, because they can help assist you. They might not know it all, but they know they'll guide you some of the things that you can help other young mothers with that. So my advice to you is to listen to your children, be patient with them. Their decision, you might not always agree with it, you might not always understand it, but be the support that they need, because that's what's going to grow your relationship, because it's not always about what you want for them. It's what God wants, and God have the desire. They'll have their own ideas, they'll have their own failures and obstacles to climb, but at the end of the day, I want to encourage you to just have fun, listen, be the example, because they're looking to you. And it's like, man, mom, if she can do it, I can do it. Especially single moms out there. Man, I applaud you. I really do. You doing it out there. My daughter is a single mom. And when I say kudos to her for the amazing job that she's done so far, for the tragedies that she had, with the death of my grandson, it's like she's those obstacles, she's pushing past that. And that for that, I'm getting emotional. But just know that God is with you. He's there for you, and He's got you. That's all I can say. Just in being encouraging to someone that struggles with their finance. Don't do nothing stupid to try to get money. Just trust God. Just trust Him in everything, and He'll direct your path. And that's it.
I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, all godmothers, all aunties, whoever stepped in to be that mother figure for you. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy.
Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. You have a blessed Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
To all the mothers, Happy Mother's Day!